Well, hello, sweeties, to another All Tower podcast episode. This time around, we're talking Doctor Who. The hosts dive into their favorite doctors, episodes, and more. And I must give out my personal shout out to John Barrowman as Captain Jack. Simply amazing. Coming up next week, Agents of Sir will be re-recording their last episode. As you remember, we did have some technical difficulties, bringing you Comic Cinema Hall of Shame. The week after that, Spoilercast team will be recording an episode all about revenge. Be sure to check that out. October 18th will be our awesome live Spoilercast for Halloween. Be sure to watch our Facebook page for links to that. We wish to thank Spellbook Studios once again for the use of their magnificent recording studio. Be sure to check out spellbook.com for links to their social pages and info on their awesome games. Also, be sure to head over to darkwaterfiction.com to check out books by D.A. Roberts and other authors, as well as facebook.com/D.A. Roberts author for great stuff coming from him. He should be announcing the new book very soon. If you are in Springfield and heading to the game convention, D.A. Roberts and Spoilercast host Matt Roper will be there to discuss Ragnarok Rising series, the card game, and probably anything you want to talk about. Roper will also be taking pre-orders for the upcoming Ragnarok Rising card game. Those not able to make it, no fear, I will have links to the pre-orders on our Facebook page at facebook.com/alltowermedia. Also at our webpage at alltowerpodcast.com. Now, don't forget to head over to patreon.com, that's patreon.com/alltowermedia, and come show us some love by donating a small or large amount to keep us going. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now perk up your ear holes, boys and girls, for another All Tower podcast recorded by the Doctor and his companions in the TARDIS.
Hello! Welcome to the newest episode, Jareth, of Spoilercast by All Tower Media.
I don't know why you'd say that.
Why wouldn't I say that? Because you always wreck my introduction, so I'm just going to throw it out here and wreck it myself. So
I was actually going to wreck it.
Were you?
This isn't the newest episode if this is in the archives. If this is a person listening back through,
Yes.
It's like the year 20...
Now,
Hold on.
You can listen back through our episodes?
You can do that.
Where?
On alltowermediapodcast.com.
Alltowerpodcast.com?
Yeah, that.
You could also go to alltowermedia.com and it'll direct you over to the exact same website for now.
Anyway, when a young Indonesian child tries to do that in the year 2018 during World War III and is trying to listen back through this podcast...
To find weaknesses in the American
Exactly,
regime.
and he's like, the newest episode, that can't be.
Yeah, no, it can be, especially if he's listening
Unless
to
this is our last episode.
Unless he's listening to them in chronological order. And this won't be our last episode because 2 weeks from now we have another episode already lined up.
It's true.
And then 2 weeks after that we have another episode already lined up.
What number of episode is this, though?
Well, this will be number 18.
That's exactly all I wanted, Roper.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to smart ass really hard until you did that.
Sounds like a plan. This is episode 18 and we're talking about Doctor Who.
Ooh-woo!
Doctor Who?
Yeah, who? Thank you. Now that the TARDIS is landing, we can start this episode.
The TARDIS is... It's right outside Spellbook Studios.
Wait, we're at Spellbook Studios?
We are. And so is the Doctor.
Dr. Jareth?
Which Doctor... Oh, fuck, it's Matt Smith. Lock the doors, lock the doors.
All right,
Fuck. I think... No, get back in your TARDIS. Fuck you.
I think that's a good place to start. So, as everyone who's ever watched any Doctor Who episode could probably tell you, there's several Doctors.
There are. There are
like
12. There are 12 by my count.
There's at least 12.
13 if you count the god-awful American movie that we made.
14 if you count the...
War Doctor.
The special War Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
John Hurt.
Yep. So, I guess that's a good place to start. Mike, who's your favorite Doctor?
10 forever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Because David Tennant is God.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, David Tennant is God is a huge part of why Tennant is my favorite. The other part is the fact that we still had Russell T. Davies as lead writer on the show, and Moffat's contribution was reined in for the most part.
And it was excellent back then.
Yeah.
Minimized.
So they had these great one-off episodes and these longer arcs that were pretty good. And Tennant is just an incredible actor, a Shakespearean actor brought into the sci-fi world, brought a tremendous amount of depth to the character. And then Matt Smith took over.
Full pause. Jareth, who's your favorite Doctor? Don't glare at me. Just answer the damn question.
I'm letting the internet feel my enmity towards you right now.
Well, I have to ask these questions because we're building up.
He's the host. He has to.
Okay, fine.
Fine. Who is it?
Easily far and above number 10. Easily.
Number 10?
What about 9?
9 is good. Christopher Eccleston is great.
Yep.
But it just isn't there.
I should also say that I haven't seen much of Peter Capaldi,
Be thankful.
so I don't know if he's any good.
No. Dire Monkey.
Yes.
Who's your favorite?
Matt Smith.
What?
Blasphemy.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I think his story arcs and his interactions with the companions were much more heartfelt, much more engaging. I think Tennant was good with Rose, but after Billy Piper left, he was not engaged with his companions. They didn't write it to be engaged with the companions.
Well, it's because he was all heartbroken and junk.
Yeah, he was.
I agree, but that kind of ruined the David Tennant era. And I really did not like, what's her name? The older lady. What was her name?
Oh, redhead.
Yeah. Really didn't like her at all.
See, I could probably get behind that more if I didn't hate all of the companions I've seen with Matt Smith.
Really?
I thought Amy Pond and Roy's story was excellent. Tied in a whole bunch of stuff. The River Song arc was amazing.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. So, because like I don't feel like I feel kind of strongly about this, but not that much. But okay, so what's fun about River Song is how it's set up, and this is when I and especially Jareth really visit the intentions of Moffat, because at the it's near the end of Tennant's last season that River Song shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And the Silence in the Library episode.
Yep.
Which is a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
River Song is like, you're not my doctor. You're not cool enough. My doctor is a walking badass. He can open the doors of the TARDIS with a snap of his fingers. And like watching that, you're just like, oh man, Moffat really loves himself, huh? He's just like, wait till I take over, guys. Then Russell T Davies leaves, Moffat takes over,
And it's instantly right into that. Like, look at what I can do with the Doctor.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's right. Matt Smith was a badass. You said it.
boom.
Don't drop these mics.
Robot Arm would have to do that.
Can I say this? Bow ties are dumb.
Bow ties are not cool.
I'll give you that one. It was a catchphrase for being a catchphrase's sake, but I'll give you that one.
Fezzes are also not cool.
Fair enough.
If you do not live in Marrakesh, or you're not like a mole who is a friend.
Morocco Mole?
Yeah.
Did we just make a Morocco Mole reference?
I think we did.
Wow. That's some secret squirrel stuff.
All right, Roper. So grab the reins here, because these horses are trying to run in different directions.
Well, I'm kind of excited about them running different directions.
You need to. No, I'm going to change the metaphor. These are feral dogs. You need to put them on a leash. we gotta run this sleigh somewhere. Where
Well,
we
we could just
Probably don't use feral dogs. You don't want to be attached to a bunch of feral dogs.
of a bitch. So okay, now that we've established that we've got 2 number 10s,
right.
and a number 11.
What about you,
That's what I was getting
Mr.
at.
Roper?
I
Roper-san?
So Josie, hi Josie. Josie's the one that actually first got talking to me about watching Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And I'd watched a little bit of it, and she's like, "No, you really need to watch it. It's fantastic." And so,
Just to clarify real fast, have any of us really bothered with the previous seasons before the reboot?
No.
Yeah, let's just set that up right now. We are talking about the new Doctor Who as of
Yeah.
like 2008,
So
I think.
hardcore fans, feel free to
Okay.
hate us.
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
2005.
I think so.
Why
we'll
don't you take a
find
look
out.
right here on the internets?
We'll find out. Rob has mission control right here.
Yes. So, okay.
Josie, our resident comics expert, introduced you to Doctor Who.
Yup. Which I started watching, like I said.
Can we talk about how difficult it is to start watching Doctor Who?
No, it wasn't that difficult for me.
Episode 1,
Where
that's,
the trash can eats him and everybody's turning into plastic people?
that's a little hard to get through.
It is 2005.
Okay.
It's 2005.
Rob, what did you think when you first started watching Doctor Who? Were you like, this show is fucking awesome, or were you like,
No. Oddly enough, I was introduced to the show by an employee here, and their introduction was the Raggedy Man episode, the first Matt Smith episode.
okay,
That's where they told me to
I
start.
wouldn't. I don't think I'd have watched it.
No, it did not grasp me.
Like at all. I don't think I'd watch it at all if I'd have started there.
First episode I ever saw, my dad showed it to me, and he's been watching Doctor Who since, like, I don't know, dirt was new. It was the Silence in the Library episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm in.
I
And
get
then
behind
he
that.
brought me back to the first episode.
What I tell everybody is they have to go back and watch the Christopher Eccleston season.
Right.
Yeah.
It sets up the story for everybody that hasn't seen.
And that's where I started.
Doctor Who.
That's where I started. And I liked 9.
yeah,
I did.
yeah,
Short-lived.
yes,
Like all get out.
yeah,
But I like how it ended. Right?
yeah.
And then 10 took over and I was like, this is it. This right here. And so I'm on board with you for number 10. And then
he took
11,
over with a lot of flair, too. Sword fight on top of the
Yup.
thing. Like, this is the kind of doctor
Yup.
I am.
And then 11 kicked off and I'm watching it and I'm like, fucking hate him. Like hate him. And then 4 or 5 episodes in, I was like, okay, I'm a little bit better with it. And some of the story arcs that were in there were good. I still didn't really
Let me-
care for him.
Yeah, let me be a bit of an apologist here real quick.
Go
because-
for it.
So 11, I think actually Matt Smith is a really great actor. I actually do think he has a tremendous amount of range. He's able to switch tones on a dime. He's able to be kind of cutesy and funny, and all of a sudden he can incur wrath. I do think that Moffat is a really excellent writer. I just think that he knows it,
Well, yeah.
and I
It
think
shows.
I think that can be a problem.
Well, when you have how many hit shows on at one time?
Exactly.
He's
He
a
has-
J.J. Abrams of England.
Yeah, he really is. He has Doctor Who, and he had basically like the UK version of Friends, which was pretty famous and actually a pretty good show. He has Sherlock, which is actually a really good show too.
Yup.
So I don't get me wrong. I don't completely unabashedly hate,
It's just kind of hard slogging through it when it's just the writer jerking off onto a page.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, let's take a look at something. I just want to point out. So, most of the major episodes that they revisit time and time again throughout Matt Smith's era are arcs that were introduced and cool as small things
As one-off episodes.
during the David Tennant era. The Angels, Weeping Angels.
Yeah.
They come back like 19 times again with
Yep.
Matt Smith, and like they're everywhere now. Oh, we killed them again. Oh, but they're back. Now they're all over New York. But like,
I like the Angels.
I like the Angels too, but they were great as a one-off enemy, not as like a, oh, well, we're going to keep dealing with them.
That episode where they're introduced, that is an episode that you could show anyone, and that would get them attached to Doctor Who.
I agree.
But it does kind of have diminishing returns after that.
We actually had a person one night that I was dealing with in my profession that refused to leave a backyard because there was a statue angel that was in the backyard and he was afraid it was going to kill him. And so we took turns watching a concrete angel to get him out of the backyard.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually kind of fun.
How many drugs did that man have in his
You know,
system?
I don't really know, but I'm sitting here and I'm like, I get this.
Yeah. You're like, nope, I understand this guy. For this moment, I am an expert.
Everyone, you can all take a step back.
Yeah.
You can all return. I got this.
I understand this brand of insanity.
I get this.
And let's talk about for a second the first time that they reappear.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're really good in the first episode. Well, first two. It's a two-parter, isn't it?
Blink?
I think
Blink.
No,
is
Blink-
Is it not a two-parter?
don't
Okay,
think
good.
so.
I thought it was just a one-off.
Yeah. Okay, good. They're really great. in
okay,
that.
good. That supports what I was saying.
That's fine. So then they come back, and now they have this whole other slew of powers.
Mm-hmm.
They're way more of a threat, and they're far more malevolent now. Because before, the way that they killed you is they stole the potential time that you could have had by just warping you somewhere in time. Fantastic. They let you live to death, as they say in the show.
Yep.
Awesome. So now they're like strangling people and stealing brains so that they can talk to you through other people's bodies. And, oh, if there's ever a picture of an angel, it's always an angel. There's like...
Yeah, the image of an angel in your head kind of pissed me off a little bit, gotta say.
Yep.
That was kind of stupid. I wasn't a fan of that.
Rob, I need you to butt heads with Jareth like a lot more. I was hoping for some more entertainment value here.
He's
I'm
frantically searching for...
IMDbing and Googling and whatnot. What do you want me to bunt heads over?
Oh, because
Specifically.
you love the things that Jareth hates, so I need you to like throw things at him verbally.
Well, my favorite part about the Matt Smith arc of the whole series was that they carried the crack from beginning to end, all the way through, and tied the whole, call it a series, together.
In the United States, you can get arrested for that.
I was about to say,
True.
carrying crack like that's kind of hard to get rid of sometimes.
That is true.
We did it!
And then in another amazing episode, another great one-off, the Silence in the Library episode, where River Song is introduced. So she's just kind of introduced, and it's like, okay, cool, that's some weird, mysterious thing about the Doctor's future, which is interesting. And an awesome 2 episodes, because that one is a 2-parter, I'm pretty sure. And so then it comes back, and okay, River Song is now the primary thing that we're working around for like the rest of Matt Smith. Every time she shows up, okay, it's all about her.
Well, she does have a rather dominating personality like that.
It's interesting because I think like people who are introduced to Doctor Who and got 10 saw Billy Piper and they saw 10 and his romance with her, and they get attached to that. And I think people who maybe are introduced later on, I don't mean to presume, and I'm promise I'm not being condescending at all here. People who are introduced later on, like to 11, they get 11 and River Song, and they see that, which honestly, for all intents and purposes, that seems like a much more grand romance story.
Except for that you see like none of it.
Right.
Well, no, that's the thing. What you don't see kind of adds to the potency of that relationship.
Does it? Because I kind of hated it.
I understand that.
The
but
whole time, it's just her being like, trust me, you really love me.
That's exactly right. She seems just like a crazy psycho ex-girlfriend that you just can't fucking get rid of.
I think that
I'm going
No,
to
really,
shoot you.
you and I are truly, truly in love with one another, and you can't wait for this to happen.
I think that
Because we're going in opposite directions in our timelines.
for people who are less cynical than us, those God rest their souls. There's like a lot of payoff for them. They see River Song there in Silence in the Library, and they go, "What the hell? What is this?" And there is that's a promise made to the viewer that is really paid off throughout 11's time in the show. You know, so I'm just saying.
Are
Just
ya?
saying
You
from
just-
an objective writing perspective.
So you're not beating off all over a page
Well-
and expecting people to work through it?
Before I go on with any more hate, let's talk about everybody's favorite episode of Doctor Who.
Go
Can
for it.
we? I would love to do that.
Let's start with Roper.
My favorite episode?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the one with the kid with the gas mask.
Damn.
Are You My Mommy? Fuck
Yes.
yeah. Oh, that's
I really
creepy.
I really liked that one.
That was 9, wasn't it?
No, that was 10.
Okay. Because isn't that the no one died? No one had to die? Isn't that
Yeah,
one?
he saves everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's also the introduction of Captain Jack.
I really
Oh my God.
really liked that episode.
Yeah.
That really did.
Oh, look, a screwdriver. That needs to be more Sonic.
Mike?
My favorite episode is kind of a weird. It's like a weird deep cut. It's gonna be. Oh, I wish I could think of the name. It is. It's of course 10. It's where he's like a tourist and he gets on this train.
Oh, the one where the thing's stealing his voice?
The one where there's like some alien presence that like possesses someone on the train and it starts talking, like echoing what everyone else is saying.
And it starts slowly speeding up.
Yeah.
Until it's getting ahead of everybody.
Until it starts anticipating what they're about to say.
Yeah,
that was a
super tense.
That was a deeply horrifying episode.
Yeah.
The Doctor did not defeat it. He just survived.
In fact, he kind of was mad that it was destroyed.
Yeah, he kind of he was left shaken up, and man, that was an excellent episode. I love that episode.
Yeah.
That's one of like the last episodes of 10 too.
Yeah, I think so.
Jareth?
Mine's a two-parter. The Bitter Pill and Satan Pit. Would be great.
Elaborate.
So the Doctor and wait, which companion?
Is it Rose?
I think it's Rose.
Yeah.
It's like the first time the Ood show up.
Oh no, that's Billy Piper.
Yeah.
How Ood?
That is Rose.
Oh yeah. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. I was thinking that Rose was the redhead. I forgot.
No.
No, she's the bride that waited, or the bride that ran away, or something like that. The annoying redhead.
Yeah.
So they show up on this basically impossible space station that's sitting right at the mouth of a black hole. It's just sitting there. They're like, the fuck? And there's language written on the wall that can't be translated by the TARDIS. It's potentially too old to be translated by the TARDIS.
That was fucking awesome. This is like my second favorite right there.
Yeah.
And that's a close second.
And all the Oods start freaking out, getting weird psychic things going on. They get red eyes, and they find out that the potential progenitor of every devil myth in all of history is contained at the bottom of this space station.
I recall that one.
And I love that at the end, that the implication is that he existed outside of time.
He was older than time.
And the Doctor's like,
You
no,
can't.
That's impossible.
Yeah, he's like, if you could tell me all this other stuff and I'd believe you, but saying that you're older than time, and he's like, if that's your religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, as a viewer, you're like, holy shit, the Doctor does have, like, some beliefs.
But he laughs in the face of the devil.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've got this. The source, the potential source of all evil, this horrifying meta myth that exists throughout all cultures ever. And he's like, fuck you. I win this.
Yeah. Rob?
My favorite episode, you can't really classify it as an episode in the series. It was the 50th anniversary special.
Oh, yeah?
That was my favorite. And the reason why is when I think of the Doctor and what they want the show to be, or what they're playing it as, are these emotional moments of the Doctor getting everything right and coming together and saving something. And one of the coolest...
I have a note there when you get done with this. Go ahead.
One of the coolest images of the entire series, from Eccleston to Capaldi, was the picture that was the Gallifrey stands, or Gallifrey is no more, when they rotate through it and the three of them are standing there and they just blast the hell out of the Daleks.
Yeah.
That, to me, just sums up what the whole Doctor Who experience should be. That image, that feeling you get when you hear that crescendoing song, it still gives me goosebumps when I watch that or think about it. And that just sums up the whole series for me.
Now,
Wow.
earlier today,
Yes.
you and I were having a conversation.
Yes.
During, what were we watching again?
The new season 9 premiere episode.
Yeah, I think it's called The Magician's Apprentice.
Yes.
Yeah. You said something which kind of hits the nail on the head for me whenever it comes to Mr. Peter, and that is he hasn't actually had
a doctor moment.
A doctor moment.
They've tried many a time, and it falls flat.
Yup. Now, as we pointed out, she has.
Clara has.
Yes, she has.
Many, especially in Capaldi's first season, she had 2 or 3 moments where it was like she seemed more of the main character, the doctor, the person to save whatever, the man who's there. She was always there.
What do you define as a doctor moment? Is that just like a fuck yeah moment?
Like figuring out and saving the day.
Yeah, like what he should be. I mean, he's lived for how long? He should be the one that does the great thing. I just feel like the show should be about him, and it should showcase him being the doctor. Like Capaldi hasn't earned that right.
I would say that as another one of my complaints, actually, since the time of Tenet, so Matt Smith and I guess now Capaldi, I haven't watched any of that, the focus has been a lot more on how special and neat the companions are. Like, oh, look, it's Amy Pond. She keeps coming back because she's Amy Pond. And look at all of this neat destiny she has and how she affects the Doctor's life just because we say so. And then Clara's just like, well, I can't die. I'm going to keep showing up because I can't die because all these other reasons and I'm super special. As opposed to the Doctor being like, I'm pretty cool. You're a human. Level me out.
Which is what 9 and 10 did.
Yeah, 9 and 10 did, and Rose especially was that just a human girl along for the ride, the companion.
Yup.
Well, that
And
could be.
I totally agree.
It could make sense as a kind of the equilibrium, the pendulum swinging, where it used to be that it was a human balancing out the Doctor, and now it seems to be more of a superhuman needing to kind of keep the Doctor in check.
Yeah, I could see that. And also, I kind of think if you're thinking about this, and this is dumb, but if you put it in real world kind of terms, you start out in the when did the Doctor Who start? 60s? 50s? Late 50s, early 60s?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
So-
you got the computer.
Yeah, but I'm talking, so. So you've got this alien, right?
Yeah.
And he steals a TARDIS and with his granddaughter and goes off into space and kind of explores space. And he's learning and learning and learning and learning. And you get more and more attention drawn. He focuses on Earth and enjoys Earth and the people and feels a connection with them and likes them. And he draws more and more attention. So as the series progresses, the Doctor has to get smarter and smarter to save these people that he loves, drawing more and more stronger companions to him.
Yeah.
And at the end, the 11th hour, Matt Smith's first episode, where he steps out on top of the hospital and basically tells that alien race to go fuck themselves, this planet is protected.
1960.
A very Moffat moment. He has a lot of those, like,
Yeah.
this is my doctor. You know who I am.
Exactly.
Eat a dick.
1963.
Right. Okay, so I think what you're seeing is, and maybe it's a good thing, is Capaldi is now reset, because he is the first in the series now, maybe. With the reset from 11, you're seeing the Doctor kind of relearning or rediscovering Earth in a way, and he needs that stronger companion now, because he's got all the attention on Earth, but he needs that stronger companion. That's why we probably haven't seen a true Doctor moment.
Well, I don't know.
That's my theory.
Maybe it's like the Casino Royale, the new James Bond. He didn't get his James Bond theme music until the very end.
Yeah, true. And you didn't get a martini at all.
No.
It just seems to me that it kind of defeats the metaphor that seemed to exist before, where the Doctor was kind of teaching that humans to be more than human a little bit, but more importantly, they were teaching him to be more human.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of bit him in the ass because they developed Torchwood and the unit and all this, and he's kind of stayed above it, but it's still, they're tracking him. They want to capture him sometimes. They want to capture the TARDIS and steal his technology, and they have.
But the failings of the Doctor, especially the ones that come back in a big way, are they're the things that I loved most, because they showed that he wasn't invincible. Because, I mean, the show is essentially just, he is the MacGuffin. he is the answer to all of the problems. Every time that there's a problem, you go into it, and it's hard to suspend your disbelief that, okay, well, the doctor can't handle this, because you're thinking, well, he's the doctor. He has fixed time and time again.
Oh my god.
Oh, I see what he did there.
Can we talk about Torchwood? Has anyone watched Torchwood?
I've watched
tried.
a handful of episodes, and I've just...
Yeah, I know. It seems like it's like Captain Jack has his own
Yep.
series, and for some reason I just haven't been able to get into it.
No, I'm fine with him being in Doctor Who.
Because he's awesome in
Yup.
Doctor Who.
Yup. And then you spin him off in that, and I start watching it, and I'm just like, I can take it or leave it.
Man, every episode he was in
Was good.
in Doctor Who. It felt like it was like the Avengers coming together.
Yes.
Like it was this
It
awesome.
was good.
It was like the next episode that happened, I was like, "Where's Jack?
What the fuck?
This he should be there like all the time." It was awesome.
What was the other spin-off show that came out of Doctor Who back in the original series with the girl?
Sarah Jane?
The Sarah Jane Chronicles. Mm-hmm. It did not as well as Doctor Who. It
It
failed
did
out.
not as well as Doctor. Yeah.
So I think, and Joey didn't do well after Friends. So
Yup.
after a big show, you can't spin off something else and try and connect the universes,
Yeah,
basically.
you almost can't have more of the same like that often.
Nope.
Favorite companion, Mike?
Favorite companion? Oh man. I'll tell you what. It's Rob's least favorite companion, and I can't even think of her name.
Donna Noble.
Donna Noble.
Yep.
'Cause-
She's awesome.
No, I hated her at first. I need to say that. Like when she showed up, I was like, "Fuck you!" There was just like a really tender moment. Like, why are you here right now, being dumb and fuck off?
Her
Like,
value was that she wasn't impressed.
yeah. that
Everybody else was like, "Oh, the doctor, let me suck a dick." She's
Yeah.
just like, "Great, you saved time. Let's keep going." The fuck?
Yeah. She's like, "Fuck off! You're the doctor, I'm Donna Noble."
You're not mating with me, spaceman.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I loved her. There was that great. One of my favorite companion doctor interactions was they were like, I forget what episode it was. They were sneaking into a building. They'd both come from opposite places. I don't think they knew either one was there.
Is that the Adipose building?
I think so.
Yeah.
And they both see each other from like across a room through windows, and they're kind of silently miming to each other in communication. That's got to be one of my favorite scenes.
Because it's like after the first time she meets him, she's still out there doing weird stuff all on her own.
And her dad, what's his name?
I don't remember his name.
Oh man, fucking love that man. Love that man.
Jareth?
My favorite companion?
Yeah.
Are we? I'll ask for Jareth. Are we talking about like the one we're most attracted to, or are we talking about the one we like the most?
All of the above.
Jareth.
You can have multiple answers on this, and you'd
Okay.
have to break them up a little bit.
All right. So favorite companion, I'm gonna have to go with Captain Jack Harkness,
All
even
right.
though he's only a companion every once in a while.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Love him to death.
God damn it.
Is that the one you'd have sex with?
Sure, why the hell not?
Hey,
But
get a couple drinks in me.
We'll just see where the evening goes.
he'd probably be down.
Probably. Well, yeah. I mean,
Immediately, yeah.
that's Captain Jack, man.
Freema Agyeman, what's her character's name? She's the black one.
Martha Jones.
Martha Jones.
That's my pick.
Just something about her.
That's my pick.
Yeah.
That's my pick.
Is there a?
I'm gonna throw that out there right now. That'd be my selection.
Do you guys want to unite yourselves on a particular issue? That
I don't know what he's saying. Does
her strength of character, her ass.
I don't know what it is about her. She has some je ne sais quoi that just makes me like love her to death.
yeah, and then of course I hate the fact that she was actually pretty short-lived overall.
Plus, she had like one of the most powerful episodes was like based more around her than the Doctor.
Yeah.
With the Family of Blood.
Yep.
Those episodes were freaking amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Yep. Dire Monkey.
Attractiveness, Billy Piper. Favorite companion, Clara. Like her story. The
Yeah.
Impossible Girl.
I gotta say, I do like Clara. I do like her. She's pretty cool.
I don't like her.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
And I like Billy Piper in Confessions of a Call Girl. So there's that.
Of course. I'll do this. What is everyone's favorite
Alien.
villain?
Yeah, I was actually going
Antagonist.
to do that same thing. So let's start with Mike. Mike, you asked a question. You get to answer it now.
Recurring antagonist or just any
Can we-
bad
can we
anything
split-
that the
can we-
Doctor has fought?
Can we make two? Can we make two categories there?
Well,
that'd be good.
I think the first one answers itself
Does
because
it?
those are going to be the ones that we picked on our favorite episodes.
No, actually.
Not necessarily. No.
Well,
Thank you. Knuckle bump. No one heard that.
no one.
We could do it really hard, like right in front of a mic, and probably break our hands.
Right here.
This your
Can you
cracks.
reach? Can you reach?
Wow.
Did you hear it?
Jesus.
Did you hear it?
Did that fucking hurt?
It hurt a little.
It didn't hurt at all.
Fuck you. He punches things more than I do.
I'm gonna go classic. I'm gonna go classic and definitely say the Daleks, because they are. You look at them and you think this is Doctor Who being campy and dumb, but then they're written really well, and they have this way of looking at the world and the way that the show kind of displays their outlook.
Plus, apparently, you can't have the Doctor without them. They just keep coming back.
That's right.
They're
They-
unfucking stoppable.
They show up in season premiere of this season,
Yes, they did.
along with Davos.
Yes, they was.
How the fuck is he back?
Yeah,
Well, he's dying.
No.
he's dying.
He's dying. We're gonna put that in big old bunny quotes right there.
yeah.
Davos?
Pretty sure we blew him up.
Who's that?
The creator of the Daleks, the
Yeah.
scorn of Skaro or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. They kind of give his origin story a little bit also.
Yeah, remember the human Doctor used his genetic makeup to explode all the Daleks in the fleet in the
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Day of Three Doctors or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Daleks, and then has the Silence come back?
Nope. I haven't seen Silence yet.
Well, this was the first episode. Wait. There was silence there. You missed it, but in the
Did I?
opening scenes, when that snake dude was walking around, they went to the
Oh, he was kind of cool.
silence, the cathedral or whatever it was.
All right, fine. Then it'll be
Whatever it was called.
It'll be the
Oh no, that little. It was like a tavern thing, and the next thing you know, it was like getting real big, and everybody's running and screaming.
Yeah, in that area, you came in right after that. Yep.
fine, whatever. Recurring Daleks. The second one is whatever entity it was during the thing I picked for my favorite episode.
God, I already forgot
Yes,
which
you're
one
just
was
you're
your
just
favorite
giving
episode.
us that. What's your favorite episode again?
Yeah, no, he said it that way because nobody knows.
Yeah, you don't know what the
What
the
episode?
thing was.
What episode was it?
It was on the train with the thing.
Oh
That's-
yeah.
It's
never did- I did that.
midnight is the planet. Isn't
That's
it?
it. Yep.
Wasn't that a Christmas special?
No.
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 That was the
It was one of
boat,
the
the Titanic or something like that was a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was one of the specials leading up to the finale, though.
Okay.
Boy, I did not love the Titanic episode.
No.
But Alonzo.
that did make his whole life like right there. Okay, Roper. What's yours?
mine?
I'm going you now.
You're going.
You always go last. You're going second. this
Damn
time.
it.
I made him go first earlier.
He did.
All right.
What?
Second.
That. All right. Jesus Christ. So
It's not as easy as you think.
no,
is it?
I mean it is. It's just I don't remember what they're called. The little potato warriors.
Oh, those the cellulose things?
No.
Oh,
They're
the
orange.
yeah,
They've got a
the
weakness
tra-
on the back
They
of
got
their
that
neck.
thing that you hit in the back of their neck.
The Doctor has one as a friend now.
Yeah.
General Strax.
Yeah, the one that's constantly like, let's kill it.
They're in the Atmos episode.
Yeah.
They were in previous episodes. Well, not the real ones, but
I like them because the majority of them.
Sontaran. Oh,
They're a bunch of just angry little potatoes.
That's pretty great.
I like them, but
Non-recurring one-off villain. That is a harder one.
it kind of is. But the one that jumps to mind is the one from the Vincent Van Gogh episode. That's the thing that's coming out of the paintings. That the reason why he like sees shit the way he does is because that fucked up looking alien that's all like triangular
Yeah,
and blue.
it's a great episode.
So I like
that was a Matt Smith episode.
It was. It was
weird.
that was
See,
a good
I
episode.
like because
Really liked that episode, and I also really liked the Doctor's Wife. I really liked that one too.
yeah. So I liked it because I mean, it's just this background thing that you really don't even pay attention to.
Yeah.
Whenever you think of that episode, you think of what's going on between him and Van Gogh.
Yeah.
And you forget the fact that there's this thing trying to kill Vincent Van Gogh.
Yeah. Who ostensibly wins?
Yes.
Well, he wins that battle.
Yeah.
And then he chops his ear off and puts it in a box and mails it to somebody.
And eventually shoots himself in a field.
Yeah. So, Jareth.
Recurring villain, the Master. Because the Master...
You stole mine, jackass.
Today he didn't see the one from today.
Yeah.
What?
No. Oh wait, Spoilercast.
Did they bring him back?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort
Son
of.
of a...
Yeah. Like she shows up, she's sitting there, and then Clara looks at her and says,
Wait, the Master's a woman?
"Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you didn't know that?
Missy.
Yeah,
He can
Missy.
regenerate, so yeah, I guess
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, and she's fucking batshit goddamn crazy as always. Half the episode she spends actually dancing,
Yeah.
like
She does
standing in
dance.
circles, just kind of fucking like doing this little two-step looking thing.
Kind of becoming a Matt Smith doctor.
Yeah, a little bit.
'Cause she
but
is a
evil.
Time Lord.
But evil.
Yeah.
Like an evil version of, yeah, that's a really good way to say it. But she points out that she's like, well, I can't believe that you're good. And she's like, it just points this like phaser thing at somebody and goes, pow, and they fucking explode. And
Yeah.
she's like, I saw a wedding ring on his hand. That means he was married, right? And maybe I saw a little bit of
Baby spit up.
baby fluid or something like that on him. That means he had a family. And then she like points at another one and fucking zaps somebody else, and she just keeps fucking zapping people. And she's like, I'm not good. Like, makes it very clear. But some reason Peter's doctor is depicted as like
They were childhood friends.
their best friends. Like they're absolutely like the best of besties.
It's probably one of those psychological Batman Joker things.
Yeah,
One
I
without
think
the other.
that's what they're painting right there, because she gets his
the
last
mask-
will and testament, and she's like, his very best closest friend is supposed to be able to get this and read this, and it's her.
Right.
That was a miss on Montfit's part, if I say so.
Who would be the Doctor's best friend?
No,
it's-
not that. I mean, bringing the Master back.
Ah.
Let him be dead. Move forward with your own new villains, which he likes to be doing. But he's too caught up in the nostalgia,
Well-
clearly.
well, hey,
we're bringing everything back, so what the fuck ever.
If the Doctor is Batman, you got to bring the Joker back.
Not really. No.
you don't.
You can't just have the Joker around in season 1. You got to bring him back.
Okay,
I would
so-
honestly rather see. But I'd rather see reoccurring people come back to have these flowing story arcs than the Scooby-Doo Monster of the Week episodes. And that's what I didn't like so much about Tenet, was he had a lot more Monster of the Week episodes,
But
and
at
I
least,
don't like those.
But those had context,
Yes.
at least. Because
Not in the grand scheme.
the arc was subtle enough. Instead of like the pirate ship episode with Matt Smith, where it's like super important stuff. Yay, we're on a pirate ship. Super important stuff.
He is right.
It's like we have to focus all of our power to finding River. Pirate ship.
Yeah. I
Come
see
on.
your point, but still the one-off episodes kind of kill the steam and the energy of the series as a whole.
This is a refreshing perspective because it's clearly a matter of preference.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized quite how much the styles of the two halves of the show differed.
Yeah.
And you haven't even seen the newest stuff.
I haven't.
Yeah, unfortunately, I own all of the Capaldi episodes, and
So-
this year's Christmas episode was just an abortion on a plate.
Will you guys talk about that for a second?
Go for it. Okay, so aside from the one today that you and I sat down and
also we
parked
weren't
our-
done. I don't think we were done with villains.
We'll,
we?
we'll get back to that just
think-
like a half a second. We can complete that.
The
list,
Master and the Vashta-Nerada. Easy.
Okay.
but- okay. And then we'll get yours in just like 2 seconds. But I was just gonna say that for me, aside from the one we watched today, I watched from the beginning of Peter's doctor, all
Yep.
the way up to what is that thing called? The Orient Express.
Yep.
The train through space.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, real quick. Oh, he did the Orient Express just like the Titanic. Yay.
Yeah.
Just real quick, that pirate ship episode that I brought
The
up
pirate shit episode.
was the same premise as the "Are You My Mommy" episode as far as what was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what were you saying, Ripper? Was it?
That was it. I was
Okay.
just saying that I watched from one, and I'm thinking that for the first season, that's only, what, 8 episodes in?
The Orient Express?
Yeah.
Probably. Something like that. Not
I think it's
too
only
far.
8 in, and then how many was in that first season with him? Do you know?
I can look real quick.
You can look real quick. But while you're doing that, do you think you could possibly talk about what your villain of choices are? Whilst you're
Silence was my kind of reoccurring villain choice, and then one-off villains. That's hard.
It is 8. It is 8.
'Cause,
8 of 8.
Yeah, I don't focus on those. They don't stick out in my mind.
Yeah.
So the Snowman episode was really cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I like the clockwork deals.
The girl in the fireplace.
Yeah, the girl in the
episode,
fireplace. The
Oh,
clockwork.
that was good.
Because they're not really reoccurring. We've seen them twice, once or twice. But they're not they're not they're not the Dalek. They're not the Silence. They're not.
And I like the Ood, the red-eyed Ood. They were kind of interesting.
It's fucking ood.
They're very ood.
Yeah.
Yeah. How ood?
Yeah, but those episodes just don't stick out in my mind. Like,
I take it back. I did see past it. I've seen all the way down to In the Forest of the Night.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Dark Water. Wait. Maybe I'm wrong entirely. Keep going.
The Dark Water, then Death in Heaven.
Death
was
in
the last
Heaven.
one.
Death in Heaven. Which one is that? The one where Danny Pink dies?
Yes.
Then I have seen it. I've seen all the way down to there.
That's the end of season 8.
So you haven't seen Danny Pink?
Nope.
Okay, you haven't either, Jared?
No.
Okay, so he makes a point, and you and I talked about it earlier, and it would have been Death in Heaven. So yeah, I would have had to have seen all the way down to that point. He makes a point. He doesn't like the Doctor
No.
at all.
No, not at all.
Not in the fucking least.
And he has a good reason why.
Yeah,
his
but
story was
his-
more interesting than the Doctor's story of that season.
Yes, it really was. Now, with the point he's making, is what I really like about him. He looks at it and he goes, the Doctor isn't all he's cracked up to be. He's nothing more than a general moving fucking people around on a table.
chessboard,
You
yeah.
know, he's
So he's a man with too much power.
He's a general. He because Pink's a soldier.
Right.
And he sits there and he's like, no, because in that episode, Cybermen are taking over everything, and Pink ends up becoming a Cyberman, but he's still got functional control over himself.
It's kind of like a cyber virus. It takes time to take over.
Yeah, but he ends up taking over all of the other Cybermen
does.
Well,
for a little while.
there's precedent before of
Right.
a person being strongly personalitied enough
Well,
that
he-
they could survive the
he pretty much
integration.
He pretty much takes over the hive mind there for a little while, but he basically shows up, Cyberman version of him, and he sits there and looks at the Doctor, and he looks at Clara, and he's like, don't worry, we'll go out there, we'll be the ones to pull the trigger for you, sir. And he through half the episode, he keeps giving him sir, yes sir, and it's really really pissing off the Doctor. I mean, you can look at him; he's like getting very angry at the fact that he's being referred to as this, but he constantly points out that he's like, that's who you are, that's who you've always been, is you've sent people off to go do all the dirty work.
Oh yeah, except for whenever he doubles back on himself in time and saves everybody again after he killed them all. Fuck you.
Jesus.
But
Sorry, I'm a little bit bitter about the Day of the Doctor thing.
Oh, he didn't kill everybody.
The Doctor's great. No, that's my point.
that's his hang up.
the Doctor's greatest tragedy, the thing that has made him who he is in the reboot.
The impetus of the beginning of this new Doctor was
His
that
darkness comes from the fact that he had to make this choice where he couldn't save lives. He had to kill his people. Oh, but wait. He'll just go ahead and call all of himself from every time, and he'll save everybody.
and so his
Even though
this character depth, this choice, this pain that was tormenting him in the beginning is a lie. It's fake.
Oh, he just forgot.
No, I think it exists in him because he did kill them. He lived with that through all.
But it's not real.
He didn't
It is
kill
real.
them.
He did kill them. He went back and changed it, but he has to live through it both ways. So all that pain is still there.
But they implied heavily that it was always he actually saved them.
Yeah.
They were just hidden away.
Yes, that's the implication.
Because he's like, why? Whenever he's talking to himself at the end, and he's like, "Why won't I be able to remember that I had saved them?" And he's like, "Because we double crossed our timelines and all that stuff. You'll forget." It's not like, well, now that I saved them, because then it'd be part of his new timeline.
Right.
It'd be.
He's never known that he saved them. He's always thought that he's killed them, when in reality, he's always gone back and saved them. So it's always been a lie.
Or gone forward and saved them.
Yes.
Oh, okay, he may have saved them, but they're still gone too. He doesn't know where they are. So there's still an emotional scar there.
There's been this leading up that they're going to find it again.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe.
Maybe he actually did destroy it. Maybe freezing them is actually destroying them.
well, let's be clear.
Yeah.
Putting them in the time lock, which they have established
Can of
was a
soup.
real thing.
Can of soup.
Can of soup.
Can of soup.
Because the time lock is what he did before. They were trapped in the last days of the Time War, constantly being destroyed. So it was a fate worse than death. But the Time Lords had a secret way out, which was the final episode of Tenet with the Master. Super secret way to get out of the time lock, not just being trapped in a portrait somewhere. So that's verified. And then there's the Dalek Khan who flew through the heart of the time warp to break the time lock and bring Davos and all of the Daleks out.
Right.
He didn't come from a painting. He came from the time lock.
Well,
that was a thing.
Hold up. I mean, Doctor Who breaks its own continuum
Always.
over and over.
It does,
and over again.
but Moffat does it the most blatantly. Let's look at the Pandorica. I can't go back on my own timeline. It's one of the few rules that the Doctor ever states.
And he pretty much sticks to.
Wasn't
there an episode
where he takes Rose to go see her dad?
Yeah,
and then
that one.
He does it again.
Yes, that
and
one.
And it breaks it.
Yes,
It
that one.
breaks time. So
That's exactly where. Thank you. That's exactly where I was going with that. Continue.
And then he does it in the Saving Everybody episode. He doubles back on his timeline, like 9 times in like one day. But specifically in the Pandorica, he saves himself from the Pandorica by doubling back on his timeline after he is saved to give Rory the sonic screwdriver to get him out of it, so that once he is saved, he can double back in time and save himself. Which is...
That's a paradox.
It's a paradox already, but most specifically, it's a paradox wherein he is touching his own time. He's like stroking his own timeline. He's just like, yes, this timeline. And none of those weird Reaper things show up, and those things were freaking cool.
Yes, they were.
Damn, I didn't even think of that. Those things were fucking awesome. Hey, okay. So we're coming up on the end.
Yep.
So let me ask this as we wrap things up. What would everyone like to see more of, or like to see, period, going forward with Doctor Who? I think we have a new regeneration coming up. I think Capaldi has said he's only doing like one more season, if I heard right.
Start with Rob this time.
But yeah. What would we like to see going forward?
Well, my hopes have been dashed because last year I was hoping they were priming us for Clara to take over as the Doctor.
Oh, she becomes the Doctor?
I was kind of hoping they were kind of leading that way, it seemed.
That would have been awesome.
I agree, but she's already said this is her last season, and she's got another show lined up.
Oh, that's what I've heard. That's
so hopes are dashed there. But yeah, I can't wait to get rid of Capaldi and somebody. Well,
you're not. I mean, but you're not happy with the writing now, though. You're not really happy with what's going on now.
I'm not happy with him. The writing, the stories are good. I don't think he pulls off the attitude of whether it be a Tennant attitude or any kind of doctor attitude. He makes jokes that are flat. He doesn't have any heart. Doesn't really give a shit. He just kind of stumbles through and he's a general. He go here, do this. I'll be in my box.
Danny Pink pointed it out, fucking spot on.
I don't know, and that may be what they're writing him as.
Maybe they're setting him up for something.
Hopefully, but hopefully a quick exit.
Well, I mean, what would you want? Would you want kind of another Matt Smith, or would you want some kind of evolution?
Somebody completely different. I would personally like to see a female. I think that'd be interesting.
That would be that right there. That's my vote.
That would be pretty cool.
That was my vote right there.
And even last season, Tennant, when he started, they kind of got like I've said before, I like the broad, sweeping story arcs that carry on throughout the seasons. They still haven't made one of those, unless you count Missy being back, which that's a carryover from every fucking season. So
you can't.
Every season.
She's like that reoccurring rash, isn't she?
Yeah. And then you throw in the Daleks from this season potentially being the sweeping story arc with Davos and the Doctor saving him as a child and that kind of thing. But
saving him, by God, the clip for next week's episode.
Yeah.
Where he shows up.
And
he's pointing a gun at him and he says, "Exterminate."
Yeah.
The Doctor.
He's not pointing a gun. He's pointing a Dalek death ray at him.
Yeah. He shows up to find.
You missed the first part of it. That kid was there was a war on Skaro, right? Okay. And the kid's running through the field, and it's a hand mine field. All these hands reaching up out of the ground, and they suck you down. That kid's running through there, and it turns out to be Davos. But the Doctor, in the very beginning, shows up to save the kid and throws him his sonic screwdriver. And I guess they don't show you, but I guess he saved him. And he grew up and became Davos and made the Daleks. So now the Doctor's going back on his timeline, stroking that little timeline string. Mm-hmm. And apparently maybe going to be taking out Davos. Who knows?
Before the creation of the Dalek?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
So time travel is already hard enough to write without you ignoring yourself.
Now here's the thing. We pointed this out during our time travel episode forever ago.
Yeah.
There is no right way to time travel.
Well, it's not that there's no right way to time travel. It's that in that episode where we were talking about time travel, at that point in time, we all kind of agreed that Doctor Who was one of the only ones that was doing it right at the time. And, because of a lot of the other ones, they started creating paradoxes and there were issues and holes and things of that nature. But, for the most part, we were relatively in agreement, if you recall.
Yeah. If so, you were all wrong.
Well, no, because it was back whenever
the Pandorica had already opened.
Not at the time of our episode, was it?
No.
Well, we could find out.
And I know from what I said that Doctor Who did that to an extent.
It didn't do it bad. It just did it better than a lot of the...
The thing was with Doctor Who was that it knew it kind of hung a lantern on it anytime it broke its own rules. I think it's kind of what Doctor Who tends to do. When it does break its own rules, it lets you know that it's breaking a rule.
Right.
Except for now.
Yeah. Anymore, it's just like, oh wait, that's a thing?
Yeah.
So I'll do mine. So a female doctor would be neat.
Yep.
Specifically, I think in general, just a doctor. I think we could serve to go back to kind of a spunkier, more maybe sarcastic doctor. Well, one with some actual wit and humor.
They made some reference to it in the episode we watched today, where
he was cracking wise a bit.
Well, there was that, and I'm not referring to him cracking jokes. It's when Missy's sitting there at the table and referred to Doctor as a little girl.
Yeah.
So, but I think
yeah.
more of what I'd like to see, Doctor Who, when it was originally created, was supposed to be an educational show that was going to be teaching kids about history. It was the Doctor going through different time periods on Earth, and basically with kind of this neat medium to tell the story.
It's Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Kind of.
Right.
In the Wayback Machine.
And he could go into the future and see things as well. We could learn about science. As it went on, it started doing what great sci-fi does, and it started asking really big questions and offering up a couple of answers, but more or less exploring these questions of morality, of the nature of time, of the nature of being a human being. And those big questions, man, I have just not seen that at all recently. You know, I haven't. It seems more like it's just the Doctor kind of going on adventures and fighting bad guys, less so than it is it being a good science fiction experience.
Maybe they've ran out of questions.
Well, there was a good reason for this, though. If you look back, when they rebooted with Eccleston, it was a little-known BBC show. Tennant came on, it got some popularity, and it really hit its peak with Tennant, and they moved it to almost a Saturday morning cartoon in the U.S. And so it became this Saturday morning. I was talking to some people that used to work with that remember waking up with their kids and watching it as a Saturday morning cartoon.
Okay, that does explain it. That's like the huge shift in tone. It went from being kind of a not necessarily a mystery type of thing, but it had a procedural vibe to more of like an action.
Yeah, and now I think you might be getting back into. It's so popular now amongst, and those kids have grown up and become more adult that it's moving back now to the more adult and serial type episodes.
So that's what I want to. I want our Doctor to be a little more upbeat,
Whimsical.
With the whimsical. I want Willy Wonka, and then I want these great big sci-fi questions with the potential to go really, really dark. You know, come on,
I like it.
That'd be great.
I don't need Willy Wonka. I need the fucking Doctor.
Sexy
whether,
Willy Wonka.
Whether it be Tennant, Eccleston, or Smith, somebody take charge and do something.
Be the Doctor.
Be the Doctor.
Be the Doctor. Jareth?
What are we talking about now?
What we want out of the show going forward.
I don't care anymore.
You want it to end?
What I want is for it to do better.
Be better, Doctor Who.
Actually, for it to end would be interesting also.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because, I mean, they're like, okay, 12 regenerations. That's the rule.
Yeah.
But
There's no rule anymore.
No rules.
But that's the problem now, is
Exactly.
that any rule that they've stated before,
Well,
they've
okay.
just flipped it off.
The other thing that I just ran into and I just thought of it is we've had how many Doctors?
13 now.
14.
Okay. But then fucking Missy
She
today
says you've been a little girl.
been a little girl.
Yeah.
So
Well,
never solved that, right?
Right.
You see?
Acceptably, there is a theory floating around that was a law and not like a rule of nature.
Okay.
That it was like Time Lords can regenerate this many times by Time Lord law.
Oh.
Not like physically I can do it 12 times. Because the Master has regenerated more times. Granted, he's like destroying the essence of somebody when he does it.
Well, it's because he's a dick.
He's like a Time Lord gone wrong.
All right, last thing here, and then we'll do our little closing piece. I was reading a thing online earlier about what happens if a silence crosses paths with an angel and the lights go out. Does the angel forget that the silence was there? Or
I think.
I love the look on your face right now.
It depends on which one of them Moffat loves more.
God damn it! I
want to
stick with that answer.
Let me tell you, I love looking around the room. Mike looks like he's thinking real hard. Like, son of a bitch, that's a good question. Dire Monkey looks like he's thinking real hard. Like, son of a bitch, that's a good question. I turn to look at Jareth, and Jareth's like, whatever.
Fuck this shit.
I'm just mad.
It's fucking Moffat.
We tried to the listener. We always go to Firehouse Subs. Please sponsor us, Firehouse Subs.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
We go there every time before we podcast.
All you can do is give us sandwiches, and we'd be happy.
We were
Once
trying
every
to,
2 weeks? Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that Jareth has a great deal of, as you have heard, a great deal of spirit when it comes to this subject. I couldn't get him to talk about it at dinner, but here we are, and I'm so happy.
I'm glad it waited, too. He's stewing. He's actually stewing.
I can see like steam like radiating off of his back.
Oh my God! So this has been an excellent episode. I was like, well, I don't know how much content I can really bring to this. I was really hoping you guys would have some more, and I'm so glad it played out the way it did.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks from now, we got a new episode that we'll be doing, and that one's about revenge.
just revenge films in
revenge
general?
movies, TV shows, things of that nature, stuff. Revengey.
There are superheroes dedicated to that concept.
Oh, yeah, there are. And I think it's going to be an interesting conversation as well. And then 2 weeks after that will be our 20th episode. And that'll be a good one. Just in time for Halloweeny.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got that stuff coming up. How's Diecast coming? I want to listen to one of those.
Yeah, I'm going to have to plow on through that. We also need to plan our next session.
Yes, we do.
So
Yes, we do. You need to get some work done on that. I have been frantically working on the cards. We've got some wonderful new imagery that's come about for that. If you haven't seen it, you need to get on Facebook. Check out our sites. Ragnarok Rising card. What the hell was that?
I hit the
Somebody hit a boom.
Okay, I was about to say somebody bumped a boom. So
Or it could be the TARDIS. Who knows?
it could be no. So get on Facebook, check out our work. You can jump over there and check out the Ragnarok Rising expandable card game. You can also go to alltowermedia.com or alltowerpodcast.com. Both links go to the same thing currently. Check out the upcoming calendar, see what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be talking about. It'll also have links to the shirts that we have. I'll even send you over to Darkwater Fiction, and you can check out some of the books by D.A. Roberts, up to and including the book that he wrote for Spellbook Studios. What's that one called again?
Lost Legion, Perdition's Flame.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then you got to make sure you get over to Spellbook Studios and check out their stuff. And as always, you need to like us, love us, share us with everybody and everything on Facebooks and all that other good stuff. And just get us out there. You know? Yeah. We appreciate it. I know our listener group keeps growing exponentially, and it helps when we have more people on.
Yeah.
And of course, it always adds to the fun. I really enjoyed having Flick Freaks on with us, and Jackie, and some of the other hosts that we've had have just added a tremendous amount of.
Basically every time, the more the merrier.
Yeah, it really
As many mics as we have.
Exactly. So, guys, it's been great. Mike, you have anything you want to add?
No, I can't think of anything.
I'm good.
Jareth,
Jareth, come on. You can't think of one sentiment that you would like to send out into the world.
Eat a dick, Moffat.
Thank you.
Dire Monkey, anything you want to add before we say goodbye?
Run.
Thank you. Guys, have a good night.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.
I love turtles.